So diving right into the crux of it, we're looking at how identity management went roaring out of control in 2025 with this IAM drift crisis, where role explosion, group sprawl, and identity creep really, it's like undermined zero trust.
Yeah, exactly. It's a fascinating yet alarming scenario where, get this, 52% of employees ended up with more privileges at exit than when they joined.
Absolutely. And not only that, 41% of all access rights were just accumulated over time rather than purposefully assigned. Identity creep in full
Right?
force.
It's like permissions just grew unchecked. And then there's the role explosion. 33% of IAM roles went from necessary to overly complex, unreviewed, or just plain unused.
Mm. Yeah. And the group sprawl part was no joke either. 27% of SaaS permissions actually slid out of IT's monitoring, like they just slipped into a shadow realm.
That's intense. A real life case that stands out is that 4-year identity creep breach, right? The senior analyst, whose role changed 3 times, ended up with finance, CRM admin, and right access all hanging around, creating a perfect storm for attackers.
Right. And that breach cost, 1,860 crore rupees. A staggering reminder that identity doesn't need to be malicious. It just needs to be unmanaged.
Yeah, no exaggeration. What caught my attention is how the study highlights ignored controls. Standards like ISO 27001A, point 5.18, and NIST AC2 or AC3, where the life cycle of access wasn't managed properly.
Exactly. It's like if you copy those roles without a proper review, you're setting up a ticking time bomb.
True, And the recommended approach is so proactive. Continuous audits rather than just an annual check, with dashboards showing identity drift scores and regular reviews of SaaS permissions.
Right. It's the concept of treating identity governance as a continuous process. It's like um, constantly tracking every identity, every permission, kind of like continuous
Yeah, that's a
maintenance
great
on a high
analogy.
performance engine.
But by focusing on such granular control, don't you think there's a risk of overburdening the system with too many reviews?
I mean, that's a fair point. But when you consider that unchecked permission is the real enemy, it's like a little crack in the dam. It can lead to catastrophic failures if left unattended.
I get that. I see what you're saying. Still, could there be a balance between rigorous checks and operational efficiency?
Possibly, but the underlying truth here is that identity drift happens incrementally, one unchecked permission at a time. A continuous audit approach helps nip that in the bud before it evolves into a full-blown breach.
Yeah, that makes sense. And when we look at tools like SailPoint, CyberArk, and even CISORADO's own identity drift matrix, they're basically trying to transform this identity chaos into a zero-risk access architecture.
Exactly. It's all about taming that explosion of roles and permissions into a disciplined framework where vendor access, group hygiene, and privilege escalation paths are all visibly managed.
Right. What's striking is the leadership takeaway. Identity governance isn't just an annual review. It's a continuous responsibility, like checking your car's oil daily instead of once a year.
Absolutely. And with CISORADA's guidance, companies can even generate an identity drift score and run tests like exporting IAM roles from AWS, Azure, and so on to pinpoint risky or redundant privileges.
Sure, it's a smart, proactive approach. In short, this piece really underscores that in the digital trust arena, vigilant identity management is key, lest we let small oversights snowball into huge breaches.